I'm going to sit this first one just because I want to change things up a little bit. Now, normally, I know sitting isn't my thing, but it is today. And that is because live from New York, I can't say that. Why can't I say it? Copyright, right? No? Okay. Live from Music City, Joanne.
Hello.
I need like a clap soundtrack. It doesn't work. Well, welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad. I'm really excited. If you would like to tell the audience about your credentials, I
Yeah.
think they would love to hear.
Hi, my name is Joanne. I am a voice teacher. I am originally from Colorado, but like Patrick said, I live in Nashville now. And yeah, I've been teaching for about 6 years now. A master's in vocal pedagogy, and I am obsessed with all things related to vocal health, musical theater, and music in general. So if you hadn't already figured it out, I think we're going to be talking about music a little bit today.
And what is pedagogy?
So vocal pedagogy is the science and art of teaching singing. So it's all of that like super technical stuff about the voice.
I think most of the audience would agree that I could use some of that. But not today. We're not going to talk about the day. Today we're going to talk about what music is in our lives and the importance of it. I don't know for you, but for my personal experience, I think songs will just like pop up on the radio that are like hitting me right then and there.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's just total coincidence, doubtful, or it's God, which I think it is, it's just always kind of interesting where they occur. At one of my experiences, I was going on a date. I just showed up to the parking lot, sent a text like, "Hey, let me know when you're here. We're just going to get coffee." Super simple. And all of a sudden on the radio, a song called "Wasting Time" came on.
Not for real, afraid to feel. I just hit the floor, don't ask for more. I'm wasting my time.
It's one of those things, you just listen to it, it's whatever. Then I changed the radio station and another song about wasting time came on and I'm like, this is a problem. Uh-oh. And sure enough, she didn't show up.
I'm sorry.
Worse things. But then another experience is I had my heart broken and a song by Vertical Worship, "Yes I Will," came on, which and it was like just a really needed experience. It just popped up on my YouTube playlist. Never listened to it before. Screamed it out in the shower, just like busting out, singing as loud as I could. And then, ironically, the first day I met my now girlfriend, same song played, except I just busted it out, didn't think anything of it. But now I just get to kind of look at how those connect and what that was for me in my life.
That's so interesting. That's a really cool connection to point out with how music shows up at different themes and different points in our lives. Because I do see that too in my own life where things connect. Frequently it's the songs popping in my head, not so much as on the radio, because I don't listen to the radio much, sadly. But yeah, they pop up in my head a lot. Or like somebody will send them to me and it's like, wow, this was oddly relevant to my life right now.
Every single time. And for me, like, I don't even really listen to the radio that much. I actually just throw on YouTube. But all of a sudden, random songs I never heard will come on. And then I'll listen to them 35 times in a row and never want to listen to them again. So I don't know if you've had any, kind of experience where a certain song hit you in that moment, whether it was coincidence or God really intervening, trying to send you a message through music.
So weirdly enough, I'm also going to talk about dating.
Because that's all I talk about on this show is dating. I don't know why.
But so there's a musical called First Date.
Oh.
This is my first time actually telling the story.
Okay.
So I love this musical. I wound up auditioning for a production of it before the pandemic, and I had never heard of it before. It was on Broadway in 2012, starring Zachary Levi and Krista Rodriguez. So amazing actors who I love. Somehow I had never heard of the show, never knew any of the music from it, anything. And so I'm getting ready to audition for it, and I'm like, well, I should probably learn something about the show and listen to the music so that if I get a callback, I'll know what I'm walking into and maybe know what role I could play. And so I listened to it, and this song came up called Safer. and I broke down in tears because this is a song where Casey, the main character, is basically, it starts out like, I know that I have issues, I face them, I swear, I think I've overcome them, and then I turn and they're still there. I can't remember the rest of the words, the first verse, but basically she's talking about how she keeps avoiding relationships because she has these walls built up because she's not healing from her past traumas and like working through them. And I heard that and I was like, well, I feel called out. Okay. And I was like, God, is this a musical that I'm supposed to be like listening to and like working through some of this like deep-seated like pain in here that somehow is not going away? And so I just kept listening to it. It's one of my favorite songs in the entire world now. I sing it way too often. I actually sang it on the way here.
There you go. See?
And
all the time.
like that song has been a part of so much healing for me, just because like I felt actually seen.
Wow.
It's a random song from a musical that was on Broadway in 2012.
But it has Zachary Levi.
Yes, and he's perfect.
He is. He is perfect.
He's Flynn Rider.
Or Shazam.
That too.
He's great in everything. That is not why we're here. Movies and life will be later. I'll have someone else come on and talk about that with me. He was supposed to be on a Disney cruise, and so it'll be great. It'll be great to talk. But right now, we're talking about music in our lives and just the people we also kind of get to meet through music. I think one of my favorite experiences is just having a song playing. Like I'm the DJ of the car or whatever, and you play a song, and the dude in the car next to me, I've never met before, just looks at me and goes, "Oh, this is my favorite song," and now you're just best friends for the rest of your lives. Like
That's really cool. I've never experienced that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that's just a guy thing that we bond over the simplest things. I was about to say dumbest, but we're not dumb. We're simple. There's a difference. And seriously, we will just play a song, and everyone in the car, if they all like it, we will rock out to it. I think the worst, most embarrassing thing I could possibly say is there's 5 of us, and we were getting ready to go to play some football games. It was like this flag football tournament, and we played Every Time I Touch. Because every time I touch, yeah,
I love that song.
we
I definitely sang karaoke to that song.
Yeah, we rocked out to that. That was our like pre-game song. Then every week after that too.
Amazing.
As soon as we got in the car, we're like, you know what to play, boys. And we just driving down to Denver from where we're at. It's like 45 minutes, and we are rocking out to every. Fists are out of the car. We're fist bumping. We're going crazy, and that is literally how we bonded even more.
That's incredible.
It just does things.
Yeah, 2010's emo music does that too.
Oh yeah.
Anything Fall Out Boy or Panic at the Disco?
And then they became the same band, and everything. Because I swear, I will listen to a song. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's Fall Out Boy, and they're like, no, it's Panic. I'm like, what? Or actually, even the other day, I heard a song by 5 Seconds of Summer, which I'm told is Five Sauce. I don't know. I swore it was Brandon Urie singing it. I was like, oh, this is a Panic at the Disco song. It was not.
He has the most amazing voice.
He does. He actually does.
He really, really does. He was in Kinky Boots.
I have no idea what that
It's
is.
a musical.
There's a lot of musicals I need to watch. I've only been in one musical ever, and I've watched some, but I need to work on it.
Maybe it wasn't Kinky Boots. Maybe it was Hedwig. He was in a musical.
He was in a musical, kind of like me. I was in a musical back in my senior year of high school, and it was. I still have the song stuck in my head, not the dance.
Are you gonna give us a preview of the song?
I don't know if I can. Maybe. It's my blanket in me. I literally had to dance with a blanket the entire thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was tangoing with a blanket.
That's beautiful.
It's the best relationship in high school I had. Yeah.
Incredible.
It was. So were you in any musicals growing up in high school, or did this become a lifelong passion after high school?
So actually, yeah, I did some musical theater in middle school and in high school. I actually went to college and grad school for classical voice.
Okay.
So I've done more opera in recent years, and some like cabarets. So I've sung a lot of musical theater. Haven't necessarily like been in as much
Gotcha.
since high school, but yeah, I did a lot of shows. but the best one was West Side Story. And I was Maria, which I should not have been because I am a white blonde girl, but it was 2011.
I've never seen West Side Story.
And it was an incredible experience. I loved my cast. It was so much fun and truly a life-changing experience, just because it was the best role and the best cast. And yeah, I loved every second of it. It was just really fun to collaborate with people in that way. And West Side Story is one of the most beautiful, fantastic shows I think ever created. It is a nearly perfect show, and I think everybody needs to see it because it's so beautiful, so relevant, and it deals with a lot of cultural issues that I think are very relevant even in 2021.
Yeah, we have a lot going on in 2021.
We do have a lot going on in 2021.
So, and I think people are trying to use music in a way to kind of, I don't want to say heal, but just I feel like it brings more people together. Kind of like, for me and the guys, music brought us, closer. I just think music is one of those things that should bring people together. And yet I see a lot right now on like social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of those. I don't have Twitter because that's just a danger waiting to happen.
I don't either.
And I just see constantly people say, oh, you can't listen to that because you're this. You can't listen to that because you're this. Music is meant to be, for me, something that we can all listen to. Now, sometimes I may need an explanation for this. And I think that's even better because the fact that now I'm going to seek out from someone who knows.
Yeah. I think, so I have a lot of opinions on that.
Okay.
So first of all, I think that music is so incredibly powerful because it is one of the ways that we convey the things that we cannot put into words. It is an elevated level of expression, and by learning music from different types of people and different cultures, that is one of the ways I think that we develop respect for other cultures and how we are able to just learn from each other. There's so much empathy that we can develop through sharing our music. There's also so much history in music, and there's so many different types of music globally. Oh my gosh, I can't even go into all of it, but there's literal fields of study where they go into various types of music from across the world and look at the cultural impact that it has had and the things that we can learn from it. And it's really incredible to see how, we look at jazz music in general is something that we look at as this beautiful art form that has developed into most of the popular music that we listen to today. And its roots comes from a lot of African American communities in the South long time ago. That's where we have the origins of jazz. And I think it's important to look at that history and learn from it and figure out how we can respect other people more through the music that we consume. And I also think that it's dangerous to say that we shouldn't listen to certain types of music because from the perspective of being raised in the church, one of the things that I grew up with is that I was really not allowed to listen to much music unless it was contemporary Christian or Disney Channel. And so...
And even now you can't listen to Disney Channel.
When I started listening to non-Christian music, it was the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato. And...
Demi Lovato, anybody remember?
Good song. But yeah, so that's kind of where I started branching out, and then I discovered Katy Perry and Kesha, and my mother was not super happy about that. But growing up, not knowing a lot of the popular music, now that I'm older, I realize that there was a lot of sheltering that I experienced and felt through that, and a lot of things that I was just not exposed to that all my classmates were. And so when people do throwbacks now, I'm like, yeah, I don't know that music because I was listening to Barlow Girl and Super Chick, and they were good bands, a lot of good music, but there's also negative messages I learned from their music too, even though it's Christian. And I've since worked in the Christian music industry a little bit too. And it's a fantastic industry, but I think one of the things that we forget as well so much of the time about Christian music is that Christian music is a business just like every single other part of the music industry,
Yeah.
they just happen to make music that talks about Jesus.
Yes, and there has been plenty of discussions about, whether it's good music to listen to, whether it's, something that we should, listen to all the time, or it's the only music we should listen to. Plenty of people, and I respect them, and I respect their wishes. For me, I was very blessed that growing up, my dad is a just lover of all music. And really back then, growing up, it was a lot of 70s and 80s music that I got to listen to. A lot of Beatles. Yes, I remember.
I wish that was my childhood.